The police, led by ASP1, took a statement from Lim Kit Siang this morning. In essence, a police report was lodged by a police officer against Mr. Lim Kit Siang for what it is he is alleged to have said in a statement that he issued on the 20th of July this year, which revolved around the findings of the RCI into the causes leading to the death of Teoh Beng Hock. But by and large, the focus of investigations seemed to be on Mr. Lim's call for justice for Teoh Beng Hock, the argument that the RCI's findings, specific findings, were to a great extent not supported by evidence that was led in the RCI, and also the reverse. What the position taken was that there was evidence to suggest conclusions that were more severe, but of course, those conclusions were not to be seen in the RCI. So these were concerns raised, and I think at the end of the day, it came down to a question of pointing out various defects in the RCI and how it is, and their conclusions. And as a lawyer, I can say that there's nothing wrong in criticizing a judgment. We do it all the time. It happens very commonly. This is a country in which we have the judiciary. We have decisions being made by court every day. People from all walks of life form opinions. They criticize those judgments where criticism is necessary. And I think that's common. I don't think that amounts to a criminal offense. And I think if we start looking at it from a criminal offense angle point of view, then I think that sets a very dangerous precedent. Because in essence, what's going to happen now is you're going to have a scenario whereby members of the public are going to be very reserved in expressing their thoughts in respect of decisions made by not only the courts but also by any body that is tasked with the decision-making process. My personal view is that there's absolutely no basis whatsoever to any allegation or accusation of sedition insofar as those comments or that statement is concerned. But then again, I think it's for the police to decide. That there has been a police report lodged and the investigation must proceed. And of course, after investigations, they will, I believe, send the papers to the AG's chambers for a decision to be made as to whether or not there should be a prosecution. Given the current state of affairs, I wouldn't be surprised if there was a prosecution, because nowadays you can see how it is. Sedition is used quite freely against people. There have been many who have been charged of late. We in the DAP have made it very, very clear that we are opposed to the use of the Sedition Act. Insofar as I'm concerned, what was stated by Mr. Lim was clearly a comment based on the findings of the RCI. And I think whether we like it or not, those comments are there. They have made findings, some of them severe, against officers of the MACC, and people will comment on that. And I think commenting on that and saying that those findings ought to have led to more severe conclusions cannot, by any stretch of the imagination, amount to a criminal offense. Because that is what the system is. The system allows us citizens to look at the facts presented and, of course, to say that this is what we think ought to have been the case. We may be right, we may be wrong, but the fact remains that we are given that right to speak up and to, of course, put forward our views on the matter.